there are these things called the emerald tablets, correct? Now, what does that have to do with the Kybalion?
Essentially, what the Kybalion comes from is actually the Emerald Tablets, essentially which has to do with ancient history. And this is around the times of Egypt, which they call ancient Kemet. This is around the times of, they call them Egyptian mythology, but some may argue that these are actually real beings that walk the earth. You got Horus, right? All those different characters. Obviously you have the Ankh. I'm sure you've seen that. It's kind of like a crucifix. Yeah, the Ankh.
You talking about Trump?
Ankh. Ankh.
Okay, Ankh.
So, these are all in association with something, but the Emerald Tablets, essentially, I believe it has something to do more or less with, we go into Atlantis, the sunken city. And there was these principles that existed in Atlantis, the sunken city. And apparently that's kind of how they formulate the Kybalion.
All right, guys, welcome back to the J-Rod Pod. Today, we got a very special guest, a returning guest. We don't have very many returning guests, but today we do have a returning guest. Give it up for Mr. Punchline Eddie. How's it going, Eddie?
Yo. How's everything going?
Everything's going good, bro. The last time you were on the J-Rod Pod, I believe it was in a different studio, correct?
Yeah. I think we were.
It wasn't the J-Rod Pod studio.
We were teleporting. You're going to have a different studio in about another 6 months.
We were teleporting like Kodak, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, real estate.
Speaking of, okay, real quick, I want to talk about Kodak.
Okay.
Because I've been hearing some shit about him. Have you heard, like, I've heard he's kind of been going a mess lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's, these rappers, all this strange stuff they be doing.
Not like Diddy shit, but
yeah,
like,
no Diddy.
Drug shit.
It's right. I mean, it's good to better yourself, but
definitely,
it's unfortunate that people came this far and now they want to better themselves.
I know it.
5-7 years later, it's like you could have did this.
Yeah, hasn't he always been like that though? Like,
yeah,
always been like.
We don't know a Kodak without drugs.
I remember a video of him like grinding on his mom.
Yeah, that was, once again, that's some strange, suspicious behavior.
I mean, he's Kodak Black, bro. The guy can do whatever he wants.
He can. Sniper game Kodak.
He hangs out at the Mar-a-Lago.
Oh,
he's in with the Prez, bro. He goes, there's a video, I believe, I could put it up here. You'll see it right now. But Kodak says, he's asked about Trump, and he goes, yeah, that's my unc. So, I don't know what that means in the black community, but it sounded good.
Who knows what he just said there? Because we know that's not true.
What do you mean?
Well, we know he's not related to that man.
Yeah, no. But what I've noticed since I've been coming down to Tony Roney's is that, and this is just an observation, that black people use the word brother, cousin more, not as literal as like white people, which I like. It's cool. So we're referring to like, oh, that's my brother. It could be like a really good friend. When you say that's my cousin, what would that be referring to?
The cousin is kind of similar to the brother, but it's not as tight, So I feel like I'm the black encyclopedia right now.
That's what, dude. Yeah.
Black encyclopedia. We got like the Black Urban Dictionary,
right here, bro.
The Black Bible. We
got the Black Bible in the J-Rod Pod, and we are very excited about this. Okay, so uncle, Unc.
Right. So Unc it's another one. It's kind of like a superior thing. Like you wouldn't call somebody your dad or your pops, that's a little too far. But the Unc is like,
because he's so old though.
Well, I mean, not so old, but like we play around when I'm at work. We play around with these names a lot too.
Really?
I'll be calling some kids that are like 1 year younger than me. I'll be like, yeah, go get that for me, son. Yeah, son, go take care of that for her. So it's a lot of playful banter, but very strange behavior outside of the community, as people don't understand what any of that stuff means. Cause I'm not related to you, It's like, it's not like that, sir.
It's so funny. I mean, I know what that means. Like most people know what, like if what, like if you're white, like when a black person says like, "What's up, brother?" We know you don't literally mean,
right,
brother.
And brother is probably like the best term of endearment, cause even uncle is still kind of distant. When you call somebody your bro or your brother, like that's serious. You know what I'm saying? You might have like a tight connection.
Right. And there's always, who knows, you could have been saying unc as in funny uncle.
Right. Yeah, the unc is usually somebody that's older than you that you're cool with, But like not just older than you, like super older than you, like probably like 10, they got 10, 15 years on you.
In the white community, like an uncle, I would say majority not, but ongoing like joke that the uncle is like creepy uncle.
That's definitely strange. We don't do that here in the culture.
So Kodak, that was just, we're not even here to talk about that, guys. We're just,
Sniper gang Kodak.
this is what we do, Sniper Gang. A shout out Blue Yeti Gang, by the way. Speaking of the Yeti, recently there has been a Sasquatch search tragedy. Have you heard of this?
This is shocking.
This Sasquatch search. 2 men searching for Sasquatch were found dead in a Washington state forest after a 3-day search.
Yikes.
Listen,
It turns out he's real.
it's not his territory. It's not these men's territory. It's obviously the Sasquatches or the Yetis. It could have been the Yetis.
Yeah. Put Bigfoot in there too while you're at it.
Is this Sasquatch the same as Bigfoot, though?
No, very different.
Really?
I believe the Sasquatch doesn't have such big feet.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, well, that's what they, these are all rumors. People say that they've
That's a
seen
funny joke.
Yeah, I mean,
I did that.
there's proof to say that these characters may exist, but the fact that nobody's ever really actually had a sighting besides some like fuzzy pictures from the 90s or the 80s, it's all up in the air.
You know what I found out the other day?
Yeah.
You know that like famous picture of the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
That's the.
A whale's dick. Yeah,
I didn't know.
it's a whale's dick.
I'm scared.
No, weird as hell.
That is nice.
Yeah, man. Like I said, every podcast, this is an educational podcast here at the JR Pod. Going off of that, we like to talk about conspiracies,
Yeah, we do it.
whatnot. And some people would call them conspiracies. Some people would say, they're true. Some say it's all bullshit. What do you think about these drones?
Yeah, these drone attacks. Every time I think of a drone, I keep thinking of.
Well, they're not attacking, though.
Well, you're right, but I still think about Black Ops 2. Those hunter-killer drones are serious. I think the drones are. Somebody's messing with somebody.
I haven't seen a picture of the drones.
No, I don't.
Do they even have pictures of the drones?
Hopefully so. Otherwise, this is another made-up thing that somebody made up. Shout out to all the drones out there.
I don't know. Dude, I see drones all the time. Literally all the time. Here, I'm going to share this with our fellow audience. When I look up pictures of drones in New Jersey, I'm expecting to see, they made it seem like there was, a fleet. I don't see a fleet of drones.
They're killers, J-Rod.
Oh,
They're killers.
Maybe this is what they were talking about.
Are they drones or UFOs? Who knows?
I don't know. I think they said they were drones because of the way they were. They weren't moving like UFOs. You know what I mean?
You know what I think? I think Jeff Bezos has everybody fooled, and he's working on the new next-day shipping, same-day shipping drone delivery system.
I like that.
So forget about planes and trains and
Automobiles.
forget about automobiles or semi-trucks. Listen, you can get your package in 3 hours with the new drones we have. As long as it doesn't weigh over a certain amount. We'll need 4 drones for a new couch.
That would be so great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they could use that for such bad.
Well,
Drop a bomb off.
what's even stranger? Just imagine a drone 500 feet in the air carrying a couch. And, you got a little turbulence. And then out of nowhere, boom, the couch is off. The couch just fell off. And it landed on you.
Oh my God.
500 feet in the air. You think you're surviving, J-Ro?
If you survive, how embarrassing.
Oh my God, yeah.
If you die, how
It's like
embarrassing.
those 1990s Looney Tunes where the piano fall over you. Yeah, the embarrassment. But forget about embarrassment. You might not make it out. You might not be alive.
I just said the embarrassment part because it's funny. Last episode, I was talking about embarrassing ways to die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be an embarrassing way to die.
Take notes.
Or imagine this. How embarrassing this. They're delivering raw meat somewhere, and you get killed by a fucking skinned pig.
Jesus Christ.
That's-
A 50-pound pig traveling at 75 miles an hour and a little turbulence, it's gonna be terrible.
It will kill you.
Oh man,
Flying pig.
you'll get mutilated.
It'll
It just came to me.
fall on you, mouth first,
Oh Jesus.
and mutilate your balls and shit, and then die.
Well, no, it's gonna break your back first.
When I think of mutilation, I think of I thought that was where they destroy your nuts and everything.
Oh my God.
Isn't that what that is?
No, J-Rod, this isn't a horror podcast.
So the meaning is the act of mutilating or the state of being mutilated, the deprivation of a limb or of an essential part. It is essential,
On another side note, they say that that's what the Catholic Church was doing to some of its non-believers during the 15th and 16th century.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What were they called?
A priest? Clergies?
No. Gosh, what was the name for them? They were in the medieval times. Here, I gotta look this up. I have to know this. Men with no genitals.
It seems that J-Rod is obsessed with genitals.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with genitals.
Is it neutering?
Neutering is the process of it.
A vasectomy. It's a vasectomy.
These are all the processes of it. But what's it called when? What is it called when it's off your penis? A eunuch.
Oh, you.
That's what it is. A eunuch, guys. You don't want to become a eunuch and be mutilated by a flying pig.
That would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
And just imagine that could happen at any time, you know?
Something else pretty interesting. Just they've been putting googly eyes. Someone has been putting googly eyes on like statues and shit all over the country.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus.
Which I kind of like because it reminds me of back a few years ago when there were those weird metal like pillars that were being, constructed in like the random parts of the desert. And it was art. It turned out to be art, but everyone was like, is it aliens?
Is it aliens?
Right.
Could it be?
Could you imagine if that wasn't aliens, but the googly eyes was?
Oh my God. Listen, the troll community and the internet are undefeated. You'll never defeat the troll community.
Oh, dude, yeah.
They'll spray paint you and your mom, and they'll put a teepee on your house.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget those eggs.
Dude, they'll fucking put an egg inside you and then make you shit it out.
Oh my, that sounds like a porno.
It probably is.
It's a XXX film.
Dude, could you imagine that? You take a hard-boiled egg, you eat it, and then within about 10 seconds, you're able to just plop it right out.
Sir?
Just...
Sir.
I mean, I'm just saying, that'd be a talent. There is a talent.
Well, you know who can do that?
Who?
2 people. David Blaine.
David Blaine, okay.
And Casper the Ghost.
True.
Shout out to Casper.
Dude, Casper was a legend.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he could eat anything and not actually eat it.
And a poor guy.
Yeah.
I was so hungry.
I don't think he has the organs.
All right, let me ask you this, since we're speaking on ghosts, because you spoke about a book called The Kybalion.
Yes, the Kybalion.
Okay. Now, you know more about the Kybalion than anyone I know. Now, I know about the Kybalion because you just find things on the internet sometimes, like after certain algorithms and whatnot. And then I found the Kybalion, like the audiobook on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I also find videos, where it talks about like things from the Kybalion.
Yeah.
I've never listened to the full Kybalion.
Oh man, I listen to that thing at least once a year.
Yeah, see, I've never listened to it.
Sometimes twice a year.
Now, what I think of when I think of this is, for those of you that probably most of you don't know, the Kybalion is...
The Kybalion it's basically a set of principles. It's based in something called hermeneutics. So it's a bunch of hermeneutic principles. Essentially, it's a little bit further than a philosophy, if you will. But it's a book, and it goes over kind of some of the ways things work, like in like huge, like widescreen. Like if you were to zoom out of the Earth, like go on Google Earth and zoom out of the Earth. That's kind of what the Kybalion does. It's like, okay, look at this continent. Okay, look at this body of water. Okay, look at this over here. So it's pointing at certain things, and it's giving you a perspective a little bit more beyond human comprehension. Everybody's not ready for the Kybalion,
Well, what was the word you just used? Instead, you said it's beyond philosophy.
Yeah, it's a little bit beyond philosophy.
What's it called? You said it started with an H?
It's hermeneutics. The concepts comes from some guy named Hermes Trismegistus. But what that means is...
Fucking great name.
They call him thrice great. So thrice means 3. So that's where this stuff is based. It's based from somebody named Hermes. Not to be confused with the Greek god, but that's also an association of that same name. But that's the Greek version. The Greek has these, they like to steal things.
So okay, I'm happy you said that. So when they refer to Hermes in the Kybalion, are they referring to, like, I'm not saying like the Greek version of the god, but they're referring to that god, correct? Yeah. So kind of like, have you ever played God of War?
Ooh, yeah, God of War.
God of War. So you know how that's kind of like, what is that version of mythology called? Norse? That's Norse mythology.
Yeah, basically, yeah, Norse.
So would the Kybalion now, where does that come from?
The Kybalion predates a lot of religions. I would argue that the Kybalion, what it does, it kind of gives you, it's almost like a Cliff Notes version of all the things you're seeing. So it's basically, it takes all the religions and kind of explains how the religions operate. Well, when you go to church, there's this principle called the law of rhythm. And basically what it means is that everything flows, everything is moving, everything vibrates. When you go to church, at least black churches had these choirs and they usually do this sing song. Well, everybody's in unison and everybody's dancing, and they don't even know that they're in rhythm. They're moving around. They're all in unison. It's kind of like Bluetooth.
It's every white person's dream to go to a black church. Just so you know.
I did not know this.
We want to get down. We want to dance.
You're free to come every Sunday with me, J-Rod.
Because otherwise it's just, and then it's so just, oh God.
Yeah, I feel like white churches kind of remind me of Catholic churches. Catholic churches, I feel like, are a little more melodramatic.
Catholic churches are the worst, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, not to offend anybody, but so that's what the Kybalion is made of. It's made of a bunch of principles. There's another principle called the principle of polarity, which means essentially that as above, so below. Everything that you see below. So think of a tree, right? A tree, as wide as it spreads. It could be an oak tree, it could be a pine tree. It's as deep as wide as it spreads above the surface. That's how deep the roots are as well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so that's a deeper one. But what it really means, there's so many different translations you can use. Think of a big corporation.
Okay.
Right? Think of a big corporation.
Cool.
As big as the corporation is on the outside, that's how big it actually is on the inside. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Doctor Who and this little police telephone box he uses. That's actually hilarious.
I've never heard.
Oh my God. Everyone needs to watch Doctor Who the first couple seasons. Thank you.
Oh, okay. It's a TV show.
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Scratch.
Johnny, it's okay. It's in the UK, so we'll give you a pass.
Okay, thank you.
You've probably been hanging out with those Southerners. Going for a ride on my big green tractor.
I don't know watching Yellowstone. Okay.
So that's essentially what the Kybalion, and the Kybalion is filled with so many different understandings. Most people can't really understand the Kybalion. So because they can't understand it, I died. But because they can't understand it, the idea is that it kind of flies right over their head.
Right.
So because it flies over their head, it doesn't give people an opportunity to really be able to break it down and understand it. I study a lot of psychology. I've been studying psychology since I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember you saying this on the first episode as well.
Yeah,
we just didn't go as deep into it.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, we had our friend Jalen there as well. I remember Jalen.
Jalen was there as well. That was one of the first episodes, I believe.
Oh, wow.
It was like the second episode, actually.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, since I brought it back, the J-Rod pod. So going off of the Kybalion, there are these things called the Emerald Tablets, correct? Yeah. Now, what does that have to do with the Kybalion?
Essentially, what the Kybalion comes from is actually the Emerald Tablets, essentially which has to do with ancient history. And this is around the times of Egypt, which they call ancient Kemet. This is around the times of, they call them Egyptian mythology, but some may argue that these are actually real beings that walk the earth. You got Horus, right? All those different characters. Obviously you have the Ankh. I'm sure you've seen that. It's kind of like a crucifix. Yeah, the Ankh.
You talking about Trump?
Ankh.
Okay, Ankh.
So, these are all in association with something, but the Emerald Tablets, essentially, I believe it has something to do more or less with, we go into Atlantis, the sunken city. And there was these principles that existed in Atlantis, the sunken city. And apparently that's kind of how they formulate the Kybalion.
So these principles, are these principles like in the Bible? You know how in the Bible it says treat your neighbor how you want to be treated?
Yeah.
They're talking about like those kinds of principles?
Kind of. The Bible, is really filled with a lot of half-truths. So a lot of what the Bible says is actually pretty accurate. But there's these inconsistencies that kind of exist within the Bible. And if you take a look outside the Bible, you see the community of people that are supposed to be reading the Bible, don't read their Bible. They go to church every Sunday to kind of reset their life.
Because they believe more so in the mysticism than what it is that is actually being taught. I have a family member that's just like this. They freak out.
Yeah.
Like have these freakouts. And they'll be very mean. And then they go to church and then they come back and apologize.
Now some people have real mental issues. So maybe they don't fully comprehend or understand, and maybe that's just the way, God, quote unquote, wants them to be so they can figure out their life. And a lot of it is really real. The issue, we just activated a $25 gift card just right now. You've tapped into NLP. Do you know what NLP is? Neuro-linguistic programming.
Let's go.
Neuro-linguistic programming. So what neuro-linguistic programming is essentially, there's things I can say to you. There's actions I can do. Essentially, what it is I can program you to behave a certain kind of way.
Okay.
I can tap into your subconscious. And this is where we start getting into hypnotism, which is very real. This is where we start getting into the world of, I can say certain things a certain kind of way. You ever watched the movie Now You See Me? That movie is it's a magician movie.
Okay.
So it's a movie But a couple people that do a lot of sleight of hand tricks, and they kind of like there's some of the things that aren't really realistic, so they can kind of hypnotize you. Like right now, okay, you can hear the sound of my voice. Okay, now you're going to go to sleep in 35 seconds. Okay, I'm going to count 1.
Isn't there a scale to hypnotism as well?
It is. Hypnotism is more
like you're more susceptible at a certain level because like they try to in certain rooms. I've heard about that as well.
You are right on the dot. There has to be, hypnotism requires a certain audience.
Yes.
So if you're super resistant, it's kind of like swimming in water.
Right.
So think about it, if you're really like trying to like move and flapping your arms left and right, you're not going to float. You're probably going to sink, you know, because your body's not relaxed. Most people, they can essentially just float on the water if they just relax.
Yes.
So that's kind of the same concept, is that if you're super resistant or if you're very defensive, you know, hypnotism won't work as well on you compared to somebody that's more open, somebody that seems more calm, you know. So those are two different people.
I feel like the term hypnotism, you can use it in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but with what you're trying to say is the hypnotism would be good, correct?
Yeah, the hypnotism.
It's not like they're swinging a clock in front of you and then they're gonna have you go do a monkey dance.
That's some like exaggerated stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of theories on that stuff that stuff actually works. And what it does is it puts you into a thing called a trance. And this is how hypnotism really works: is that it puts you into a trance.
And that's why we got a bunch of people running around with dresses now.
That's funny. Well, that's also, you hit a really good point there, J-Rod. That's a part of some programming. Okay. You know, that's societal programming, if you will. Society has said that you can do this now.
True.
And there's not going to be as much consequences because there's a community backing your decisions and your choices. And it's okay. It's okay for you to be like that. And if we look at your childhood, we can actually figure out, how did you get here?
Right.
So how did J-Rod get to where he is now? Well, we can take a look at his childhood. We can take a look at his parents. Because they say your mother is actually the first person you see when you get out of the
I can tell you how I got here right now. I fucking fucked up for a while and then started to get my shit together, and now I got this little studio.
Man, that's the wrong question. Oops, I meant to say wrong answer. That's the wrong answer, J-Rod. How you got here is through a UFO crashing in Arizona.
True.
Yeah. So
how did you know?
I'm telling you.
How did you know this is actually not a studio and a real UFO pod?
Well, if we turn the camera around, we can actually see the entire pit crew right behind us. And this is actually just one big ass aircraft hangar. Yeah, and this is all a part of an illusion.
And the people that are walking around outside of this little pod area, they're aliens, but they just look like Mexicans.
J-Rod, that was racist.
No, no. Literally, this entire floor is Mexicans.
No, how could you say that?
You know what?
And you know what?
You know what? I'm Mexican. You're racist.
Damn. Man, you got me. But you know what? So that's it. That's all I can say.
Listen, yo no anajar biblioteca todos los
días. Oh, look at that.
And you'll know exactly.
But you don't like
everything.
You don't like librarians or bibliotecas.
You're right. That's why I say use ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT will help.
However, though, I like Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is different than the library because they always have the newest books.
Yeah.
They have it sorted in a way where it doesn't look like shit. Like, I feel like every library book has like this weird plastic lining on it.
Yeah.
And it looks old as fuck. It just reminds me of textbooks.
Well, that's the preservation of the book, Jim.
Fuck, I want a new one.
I mean, if that's the case, you need to be listening to audiobooks. Forget about Barnes & Noble. They're going out of business.
No.
Are you serious?
I listen to Audible all the time. There's nothing you learn. I love audiobooks, but you really comprehend information so much more when you read it because you're like, at least for me, I actively like will underline things.
Yeah.
So I make it a thing. It's like fun in a way. But audiobooks are great too
I think it does depend. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I throw an ear pod in, I'll just play one of my thousands of audiobooks sitting in my folder on my phone. And what that does is, hey, now I can jump in the shower with the AirPod. Thank God for waterproof.
You wear the AirPod in the shower?
Yeah, the water never really gets to me. You know, your ear has cartilage that kind of protects you from water getting in your ears. Kind of like a
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never gotten electrocuted. My AirPod has gone in the washer and the dryer by accident.
Nuts.
And you know what's crazy?
What?
It didn't work right then and there. I put that boy back in the case. Hey, 20 minutes later, dude. Oh my God! Thank you.
Why don't you just take it out and then just turn up the volume while you're in the shower? That's what I do.
Yeah, but I live with some other people. Somebody's got to caretake for my grandfather.
I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes
Except
sense.
I don't get paid to do it.
No.
Now that I think about it, I think I need to file something with the government so that I can get.
I think you can
some compensation.
You could ask ChatGPT, like, hey, is there a way for me to get some money
Yeah.
from blah 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 situation?
Well, here are a couple suggestions that we can use.
Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
I did it the other day.
That's a great idea, actually.
But let's
I'm glad you talked about AI because I think we can actually. I don't know if you want to jump into that.
we can talk about AI.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel like AI has real. I mean, we're talking about like the growth on AI. You got to understand. So I found GBT through a friend on Discord. It wasn't even a friend. It was just some random people. You gotta understand. Discord is an amazing platform. I've seen people give away free laptops, like $1,000 laptops, to some random person that they've known for a couple weeks on Discord. Or it's an amazing opportunity. So some guy hit me up in the DMs, the Discord messages. So he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, you need to try this." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and do this and type in ChatGPT on your computer." I'm like, "Okay, well, what the fuck, And I typed it in and I'm like, "Well, what the hell is this?" I was like, "Is this Google?"
When was this?
Oh my God, that was, what year is it? 2025? That was 2022, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe it was probably 2023. We've only been
I
doing
think it
this.
was.
If you believe it, it feels like 4 or 5 years have passed, but it's only been 2 years, I believe, since GBT conception.
Yeah, it's just growing fast.
It is. So that's what happened. And the first thing I did is I told my dad about it. Once I kind of got the hang of it, I was like, well, shit, okay, I can type this in and get this response. Let me put some math questions in there. Now, at the time, GBT was terrible at math, so you had to fact check it really bad. But I could run essays. I used to run.
Were you in school?
No. I wasn't in school at all. And that's the issue with AI now, is that what schools are doing is they're trying to deter students from using AI. But what schools keep forgetting is, number one, their systems, because they got that anti-plagiarism stuff.
Right.
So they what's funny is the teachers are using AI to see if you're using AI, and their AI system is actually weak.
And honestly, couldn't you just? I feel like it'd be so easy to bypass, bro. Like,
let me tell you what I used to do when I was a kid. We didn't have AI.
how old are you?
Who, me? I'm 42.
You're not.
I'm 25.
Okay, 25.
Yeah, my birthday's this year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually 24. But anyway.
I thought it was last year.
Oh shit.
I'm kidding. It's both years.
And we're gonna skip next year and go after that.
Oh yeah, fuck next year.
But so what the people are doing, or at least what the administrative people are doing in these colleges, is they're trying to essentially combat people for using AI, and there is like consequences for using it, and the plagiarism strikes and all this stuff if you're writing essays. But what I used to do back in the day, you got to understand, I'm probably like the plagiarism god.
Okay.
Because I've never actually been caught for plagiarizing. But the way that I would get past a lot of essays, and I love English to death, but the way I get past a lot of essays is I would go on this amazing website called thesaurus.com. Oh my God. Do you remember thesaurus.com?
Oh yeah.
Thesaurus.com is amazing because I can take the word water and I can change it into a different word. And there's a bunch of different words that mean approximately the same thing. A garage could be a gate.
Right.
A desk could be a
table.
Right? There you go. So, tripod could be a stand. So thesaurus.com was perfect because what I was doing was I was taking literally physical articles, like almost word for word, and all I would do is just sit down for 30 minutes. I had an essay that was I'm extremely late. What I would do is I'll probably like make the essay like the night before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. I had a terrible work ethic. What I would do is I would take
time management.
Yeah, man,
that's
oh my gosh, I was the last minute guy.
No, I know what
I did something done last minute. I used to get paid for doing essays.
Yeah,
that was when I got out of high school.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I used to get paid. People used to pay me to do an essay. I don't know nothing about your essay, but I could give me 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
And you haven't worked on it at all. Give me 2 or 3 hours. Your essay's done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used thesaurus.
Can't guarantee an A.
Right. Oh no.
C.
I mean, people.
It's fucking.
No, B.
That's good.
Yeah, I typically got people B's. If somebody got an A, that's an ego boost all day long.
And that's more clients.
Totally. Yeah, I wish. Somebody randomly walked up to me. So what I did is I took the articles and I just simply copy and pasted the article into, like a Google Doc or something. And I just used the source to come up with different words for the same thing.
That's a good idea.
Did some punctuation checks, deleted some unnecessary words. Like, this stuff is easy. So now that we have AI, you can forget all that crap.
Yeah.
I haven't touched thesaurus in 5 years.
You don't need research.
6 years. I don't even know what thesaurus is anymore.
It needs to know.
You don't. But that's what was great is that most people don't know how to do research. They have no clue how to do research. And some people, like my girlfriend, she's really traditional. So she wants to physically look up the articles. She wants to physically type it, even though she's got like carpal tunnel thing in one of her hands.
She wants to type in what like an
She wants
article.
to physically type the whole essay. And she wants to use the article. I'm like,
Is she in
man,
school?
yeah.
Oh damn!
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, what should
I keep telling her, what she's trying to,
just use ChatGPT?
it's crazy, man. But she doesn't understand the value of ChatGPT.
Have you shown her?
I have gave her a few samples, and what I understand is, this is great because we're back into psychology. Mechanics, what people do, is typically a mechanical issue. So mechanics, when we talk about mechanics, we're talking about people usually do things that they've been, here we go back into programming, they've been programmed to do. They've either programmed themselves to do it or somebody else has programmed them to do it.
Okay.
And so what that suggests is that, even if my girlfriend has the example, well, what she's doing is she's trying to stick to what she understands without really without the depth understanding of how she even got to be that way in the first place. Writing essays nowadays is finished. You know what I'm saying? When you can have GBT proofread your essay, even if you type it, I'm not against people typing. If you can type, what is it, like 15 words within like 10 seconds, or I don't know, like 5 seconds. It's some crazy number. You can type I think it's like 100 words in a minute or something like that.
Something I remember those courses.
If you can do that, then great. You actually, might be due for financial compensation. No,
Yeah.
but that's the whole thing about it is that, these colleges are trying to combat and fight these people on you're really trying to fight their own students on things that the college doesn't really even understand anyway. They don't know what GBT really is.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. So they've got these anti-plagiarism, they've got anti-AI systems, and what my girlfriend is, I'm just using her as an example. What my girlfriend is she's scared
To use it.
Yeah, NLP, fear-based programming. This goes right back to a Catholic and Christian
That
church.
is strange.
Yeah, it's fear-based programming. They scare you into doing something that they want you to do, even if their process is probably flawed, right? So I go to Wayne State University.
Okay.
To see my girlfriend, and this is a great example. What happens is,
Shout out Wednesday.
right? Hey, shout out to Wayne State University, and them guys are working. So what happens is that parking is crazy in Wayne State. To get somebody, number one, you usually have to pay for parking unless it's on Sundays. But you gotta understand, I haven't paid for parking in months.
Wednesday's in downtown Detroit, for those of you that don't know.
Tune in more for it. But that's the whole idea. Is parking is usually terrible, and they usually make you pay like $8, $6, $10 per parking. Well, I've only had 2 tickets, and I've been going to Wayne State for almost a year now. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, is that the meter maids, we're gonna get misogynistic for a second. The meter maids are women. A lot of women are meter maids.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought they were Indians.
I think you're confusing Uber drivers with meter maids.
There's a lot of actually not on Wednesday campus, but sorry.
How did you do that?
No, Diddy.
How could you do that?
No, but
We just need.
you're just touching these, and it was weird.
That's the case. On the other hand,
No, outside, I can't think of Wednesday's campus like meter maids, but I know that those are the people that stand inside the little boxes. I know.
well, not in the box. They got a car, and they got a little camera on top of the car.
Okay.
The car.
I'm not thinking of the same
It's like a
thing then.
Beetle. It's like
Okay.
a little Beetle car, like a really small car, like one of those little. You ever seen one of those little electric cars?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a 2-seater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a camera on top of the car. The camera scans your license plate, and it tells the meter maid if you paid or not. And if you didn't pay, that's an orange ticket.
I've never even seen that.
Yeah, and that's usually about
crazy.
$45.
What
So
the hell?
yeah, those are not to be played with. But it's like, they don't, like the meter maids are very infrequent.
Of course.
I figured out how to park.
They're women.
Right, there you go. Misogyny. It's misogyny right there. So, but that's the whole issue. I'm just using that as an example. Is that these colleges are very volatile.
Yeah.
Very, very random. I could, you gotta understand, you've got Wayne State security. You've got Detroit police, and both of those entities are swarming Wayne State.
Yeah.
We're talking about, I would argue, every 3 minutes you see a cop car.
Yeah.
There is no reason for anybody to be at the front desk asking you for your card, how you got in the building.
Right.
That makes no sense. You have
Do they do that?
Yeah, you got police swarming the area. So we go into security, airport security. It's all illusionary.
Yeah, they act like they have way more power than they do.
If I wanted
They don't.
to put a bomb on a plane, this is how you get canceled. If I wanted to put a bomb on a plane, don't you think I would have found a way to outsmart airport security? That's the first thing that's going to happen.
I don't know.
If I want to get a bomb on a plane, you got to think about it. This isn't 2001.
Exactly.
My deep remorses for anybody that
2025.
Right. So it's
gonna be
24
harder.
years later. Well, we don't,
Technology is so much, dude. I think it'd be way harder now.
Yeah.
To sneak a bomb onto a plane.
Look at go watch Die Hard. Go watch Die Hard 2 specifically.
Okay.
With the airport, you had guys in there with pistols. I understand the movie came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, everybody's just walking around doing their thing.
Yeah.
Police can, if you're a police officer from a
You
different...
can smoke cigarettes back in the day.
Yeah, it's like, so, things have changed, but more importantly, if I wanted to get something on here's a good example. We just got back from California about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Nice.
Me and my dad. I think it was about a year ago. And what happened was my dad had a little cigar. He had a little cigar holder, like a little case.
Okay.
He already smoked the cigar. But what we didn't know is that the airport security didn't open up that cigar case. So we were smoking a shit ton of weed in California. We could have essentially smuggled drugs so you get canceled. That's how we could have smuggled at least an AFI and maybe a couple grams into that cigar case.
Was this a carry-on?
It was literally like a little
No, I mean,
sheet.
was the cigar case in a carry-on, or was it on, or did you put it in the luggage?
I think it was
underneath.
I think it was in a carry-on.
Okay.
Yeah, it was because they had they zip it out and they go through it. And it's like nobody went through a cigar case. We were so sick. We were like, dang, we could have, because we had to smoke all the weed before we left. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he bought a bunch of weed and we had to smoke it. I was scared to bring my pen. I like the little clears.
Yeah.
The little wax clears.
I brought those through.
Oh my God. Technology is...
They don't really care about weed anymore.
Well,
as much.
I think it depends.
My mom told me. She's a flight attendant.
Go to Arkansas. I think...
I guess where it's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's not decriminalized. That would make sense.
Another scary thing is U.S. Customs. So on your way to Canada, you're actually more likely to probably you could smuggle a human being on the way to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've played this out in my head like a dozen times. I've been to Canada like 6 times because it's hilarious.
Well, really, in a human being?
They ask you, somebody that maybe doesn't have their passport.
Someone.
Well, it could be a girl, and maybe.
Well, we're just saying, why not smuggle something?
Well, you could do that too.
I like how you say. I like how you went straight to a person.
Bomb. I keep saying bombs. I don't know what's my obsession with bombs. You're right.
Bleep it out.
I'm tweaking. I'm tweaking raw. So, but that's the whole idea. It's like on the way to Canada, you could probably bring anything. They're not gonna go through your car.
No.
On the way back from Canada, U.S. Customs is anal. You go through probably like 2 different people. And
yeah, definitely.
They're not playing around. U.S. Customs has went through my car 3 times. Canada, my trip to Canada, the Canadian Customs, if you will, has never searched my car ever. So, the U.S. Customs got dogs and stuff. Canada does not.
U.S. Customs doesn't have, or Canada doesn't have dogs, but doesn't U.S. Customs have
I'm sure
dogs?
they have dogs, but the idea is that when I was coming back, there was one time I was coming back from U.S. Customs. Now, understand it was like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
12 o'clock at night.
That's sketch.
Yeah. Oh, all day.
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
Where'd you just come from? Oh yeah, I went to go see a beautiful dark chocolate princess, and we went to the casino. We went to Caesars.
I went to go fuck with the natives.
Right.
Because they hate the natives up there.
What kind of food did you have? Well, I had a burger, and she had the chicken tenders.
Some burger.
Well, okay, well, how long were you in the restaurant? It's like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell are these questions?
That is strange.
U.S. Customs is a monster. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Canada, let me see your ID. Why are you going? How old are you? Some stupid question.
You're like, 4 questions.
Okay.
That's it. But, that's it. Yeah.
And then they do, like, an awkward pause to see what you're going to do. Be like, all right, you can go. Okay.
Yeah. You know how many people? Have you ever seen that movie? What was it called? It was about I think maybe it was the cannabis kid. I forget. There was this kid in the United States. There was this spot on the border of Canada where there was no like
Yeah.
there's nothing. At a certain time, you could run drugs, like literally run, like you would run across this field.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, and it was this kid. It was just like a high schooler went into college, starts selling weed, then finds his dealer, and it's this Asian dude in Canada,
Yeah.
and he has literally what's the word? He has complete freedom to go back and forth from U.S. to Canada with no one noticing. So this guy's making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy how if you're in that kind of business and you start making a lot of money, something that you probably would have never done before in the past doesn't seem as, like, for example, it's based on a true story. This guy and the kid ended up killing the dealer, I believe.
Oh, crap.
For some reason. I forget why. But like in the beginning, he was like a nerd. Like he would have never done that. So it's just weird to see like how what you have, like, if you have money, you have power, whatever, it can change you.
Absolutely. And I would argue that money never really changes anybody. It just exposes who you really were the whole time, you know. So that's what I would say about it, because that's true. According to 40 laws of power, humans crave power. Humans crave power because it's just something to accomplish. It's just something to have. And when you have it, your true self comes out.
It's a primal hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's like with the monkeys, they have the alpha, but then they'll hate the alpha eventually because the alpha just goes around fucking being a dick, punching other monkeys in the nuts because it can, and they don't do anything. And then finally one day they're all just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
And then they wait for him, and then once he shows up, they just rip him to shreds.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's a very real thing.
That's literally what happened.
It's crazy. That's some Planet of the Apes shit right there.
I was thinking about this like a few weeks ago. I was thinking about that specific thing because I was listening to a podcast. What's it about?
No internet connection.
Oh, that's for the TV.
How could you do this?
That's for the TV. That's not for the.
How could you have lost everything?
Dude, it shows me there's not a lot of crap. We're still going. So I was just thinking about this the other day because they were talking about this one monkey. Have you heard about that monkey that woman had that ripped off her face?
Ooh.
Jesus. So she had this little monkey. It was like a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Since a baby, right? And she would dress this thing up. She would put it in robes.
Yeah.
She'd give it Xanax.
The hell Xanax?
This thing would drink. It would drink. This thing
put it to sleep,
it would
baby.
take showers, bro. This thing was literally living the life.
You ever heard? Do you know who Sway Lee is?
That sounds familiar.
Sway Lee, Ray Sherman.
Yeah.
Ray Sherman. Sway Lee is one of the lead artists, and Ray Sherman died. But anyway,
I hope you know every time you do something like that, you're not gonna see it on camera.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank God.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
But anyway, so
that's why if you do it, just repeat it.
Repeat it.
Repeat it. Yeah. So then I can just edit out the first time you try to say it.
Wait. So do you know who Sway Lee is?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so yes.
Now I do. I mean, now that you told me, yes.
Yeah. So Sway Lee has an actual like a whole monkey, and he puts diapers on the monkey and everything.
How old is it?
Oh jeez. I mean, he's had the monkey. I remember seeing the monkey, maybe like a year or two ago. The monkey's got to be like 4 or 5.
Do you know it's a monkey or is it a chimp?
I think it's a chimp.
If it's a chimp, bro, once that thing becomes an adult,
maybe he's
got to ditch it.
Maybe it's a monkey. I don't know.
It's probably a monkey because, dude, chimps those things never end, bro. There's another story of a husband and wife. They adopt a chimpanzee as a baby. They raise it. They literally raise this thing. And then by the time it's like, I don't know, like 19 or something like that. Or maybe 10, I don't know. They have the emotional the reason they freak out like they do is because they have the emotional intelligence of a 2-year-old, I believe.
Damn.
That's why, yeah. And so that's why like they'll freak out even if they, I do believe that like monkeys and chimps, I believe they can like develop like care, and like they're smart enough to do that. But in this one example, the couple, they had to put it into a sanctuary because it was ripping out trees from the neighborhood.
Oh damn, the strength of these creatures.
Insane. And so puts it in the thing. And then on its birthday, they go bring a cake. They're gonna wish her happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they go in, bro. Bro, 2 chimps run down, start. The guy tells the girl to get under the table, and it's just the guy now. And there's these 2 chimps just fucking. Literally, they ripped off his nose. They ripped off an ass cheek.
Whoa.
They ripped off an ass cheek. They ripped off his dick. They ripped off like half his face, bro. This like it was so bad you couldn't recognize him. He survived. He survived.
Yeah, that's not worth it. That's crazy.
But get this, it wasn't even the chimp.
What do you mean?
It wasn't even the chimp that they put in there. The chimp was just watching it all. It's almost as if the chimp was like, yo, these fucking guys. They would put it in that dress and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, and he was like, yeah, these fucking guys humiliated me these past few years. They've been putting me in dresses, all this shit.
Yeah.
When they get in here, I need you guys to go fucking hit him.
That's great. That's a conspiracy.
Dude, right?
How could you say that?
Right? Because, dude, he just sat there. He didn't do nothing.
He just, yeah.
Didn't he?
That's pretty intense. You cannot fuck with these monkeys, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would keep like a 44 revolver with me at all times, man.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta get it. Like, if you act up at all, you're dying. You're not ripping nothing off of me. You can forget it. I'm keeping all my ears and eyes.
And they know where to go, too. They know exactly where to go.
There's actually the scientific thing about monkeys is that they actually go for the
nuts.
they go for all the areas they know are gonna be intensely painful. So they always go for the genitals, and they just go for all the
Like a tongue.
Well, even something like that. They go for all the like critical areas.
Could you imagine one monkey just holding some guys? Imagine, I guarantee in some point life that has happened to someone.
Feel the power.
That has happened to someone, bro. Think about it. When they're like 2 years before, they probably were like, that wasn't even a thought. Next thing they know, their jaws being opened as some monkey rips out.
This is just a crazy.
It's just so fucked. It's just
This is the Nun.
This is life, bro.
This is the Conjuring.
This is life. This is life.
I mean, it is. This is why you don't own undomesticated animals.
Yes, and that's what we're getting to.
You got to think about it. Imagine how hard it is to take a wild dog, a dog that's probably been beat up most of his life or smacked around. To try to reform that dog is actually not easy. But trying to reform a whole animal that's like undomesticated, practically wild, like a monkey or a chimp,
Highly intelligent.
Yeah, of course.
Like compared to other animals.
So it just doesn't make sense. It's a great example. Siegfried and Roy with those tigers. I think they had 2.
Oh yeah.
They're like white Belgian tigers.
Yeah.
Just like some of the most dangerous animals you could ever have. And essentially what happened was the tiger got startled. Something startled the. Oh yeah,
Someone in the audience.
Yeah. Thank you. It was somebody in the audience.
Yeah.
I think they took. It was a balloon. I remember now. It was a balloon that popped, and the tiger went ballistic.
Yeah.
He lost it. He didn't know what that was.
That's why he attacked.
Yeah. He basically killed him.
Because it wasn't like the tiger. Like I bet you if that didn't happen, tiger would never have hurt.
Yeah. Well.
Singing whoever
people are crazy.
Who was it? What was it?
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried?
Yeah, Siegfriid
and Roy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't.
No.
You don't own these animals. If you're gonna,
it never ends well.
Go to a zoo or something, man. Like
Tiger King. Like it never ends.
Oh,
she never ends well. It never ends well, except for that one.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. No, and there is that one though. There's that one guy who's like obsessed with octopuses.
Oh Jesus!
Have you ever seen that? My friend the octopus or whatever on Netflix, bro.
That's crazy.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. Have you seen? I wouldn't be surprised if the guy was fucking out.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's wild.
I know.
You should at least do a giant squid, not an octopus.
A giant squid will make, dude. That would make more sense. I agree. A giant squid.
Can we say the word
giant squid or a giant octopus? And
can we say the word octopussy on the mic?
We can say it.
Okay.
We can.
Yeah, so that's like these creatures are dangerous. You should never be messing with these creatures like this. And go to a zoo, bro. Like it's not like this out here, like. And most people don't know what the hell they're doing anyway. Like you gotta be I would argue you gotta be like a zoologist.
Yeah, do you need to see do you really need to go hang out with like monkeys in a thing?
Trying to be so different and primal and shit.
Yeah.
Turn into a lion.
Yeah, you go bow hunting. It's alright. Relax, dude.
It's not like it's just crazy, dog. Like get out of here. Now like deer hunting, like that's legit. Oh, I didn't tell you.
Cool.
There's this guy on TikTok that has a whole cow in his house. I'm not sure if you've seen this.
What do you mean?
There's a guy he's got a whole cow inside his house.
Dead stuff.
I forgot what his name is. I think he calls him like
Is it alive?
Otis or something. Yeah, the cow's alive, just walking around. And the TikToks of this guy making himself food, and the cow just like comes on, just eating all his food in front of him, and he's literally like feeding the cow. So he's trying to like make a sandwich, and the cow's eating all the materials before he can even make the sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Somehow he brought the cow. Somehow he got the cow like across like state borders or something. So he like went. So you got like another video where he's going to LA with the cow, and like he's just walking around with it. I'm like, dog,
Bro,
what?
the fact that he has a cow just hanging out in his house. What do you can't do anything else. If you have a cow in your house, you have a cow in your house.
Yeah.
And you have to do, there's no part of your day where you're going and, chilling out.
I don't think he eats.
The cow eats.
I don't think he eats at all. I think he's got some. Yeah, the cow eats all his food. He can't make steak or chicken. The cow just eats it. Well, probably not the steak part.
Yeah, that'd be,
that'd
be twisted.
That would be messed up. And then you got the cow. The cow eats the eggs, and like the cow's drinking milk, and he's
Probably just shits on the ground too. Does he have a farm?
I can't even imagine. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he's just got a farm.
He must.
Because my question is, where the hell do you get a cow?
Where the hell do you get a cow?
What do you get from the fruit market? Yeah, I'll take that big guy right there.
Well, where do you get well, if he's not a farmer, where do you get a cow? Because if he's a farmer, I'm sure he has connections.
So there's a fun story. When I was in senior year of high school, also when I was in junior year, there was this guy. There was a teacher. He was like a science teacher. Every year he brings these little chickens, these little chicks, like that big. Little yellow chicks and stuff.
Yeah, cute.
So, there's places you can actually go, not even too far away, like probably like 30, 40 miles from here, where you can get little baby chicks. And he would raise them and grow them, and then he would put them, like towards the end of the semester, like probably towards like, because he does it in the summertime. He doesn't do it in the wintertime. So towards like the end of the whole semester, like towards summertime, he goes ahead and he just like puts them in his chicken coop with the wires, you seen the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend's got a chicken coop.
I think he'll either sell the chicken or
Slaughter it.
I don't think he slaughters. I've never heard of him doing that. I think he usually sells the chicken.
You don't want to believe he does it.
Well, I mean,
I could tell.
the little baby chicks. How could you do
I
this?
know, right? What if he's a sicko?
He could be a psych. I really hope not. He's not the president of the United States,
President can't be doing that either.
Yeah, I mean, they say that one of the presidents was actually a peanut farmer. One of the presidents.
Oh yes, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. He was a peanut farmer.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
to a legend.
What's today? Today is the memorial, I believe, of Jimmy Carter.
He died the other day. I know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Today's the memorial for Jimmy Carter, and they said that all 5 presidents were attendant at all 5 alive presidents were attendant at Jimmy Carter's memorial.
Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George Bush Sr.
That's Barack Hussein Obama to you.
Barack Hussein Obama.
And that's Donald J. Trump.
And you're right.
You're
right.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, Jimmy Carter.
No disrespect. I'm a patriot. Goddamn.
He's a patriot. No American flag in the building.
No, but we got the J-Rod pod, and that's American.
That's pretty American. Jimmy Carter was hilarious.
Do you know about it? I don't know much about him. I know he was 100 when he died.
Yeah, he was 100, and he was actually the oldest president to vote.
Oh
So
wow.
he was in hospice for about 3 years. So don't ask me how I know all this, but me and my store manager, we were always cracking jokes about Jimmy Carter while he was in hospice. And I think what was so funny is that when I see on my phone, like right in the middle of a shift, that he died, and I'm actually working with my manager at the time, I'm like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe! Look at what happened.
That is wild.
So it was amazing, and we couldn't believe. We were like, oh my God, he died. It was like, yeah, Jimmy Carter's gone, And then that's when the real jokes come out. It was like, he's still haunting, this building, right? After all the jokes that we made, that's the joke.
What did he do? Like, what was the significant thing that the Carter man did?
He, besides being a peanut farmer, I think he kind of mandated a couple different things. Unfortunately, a lot of these presidents kind of suck, but.
Bro, thank God for ChatGPT. I just want to see something that he did. I've heard something.
And I'm black, so don't forget that.
What's some Jimmy Carter did? So, Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States from 1977 to 1981, is known for numerous accomplishments during and after his presidency. Here are a few highlights. So, number 1, Camp David Accords. In 1978, brokered a historic peace agreement between Egypt and Israel. Oh, wow. Leading to the first peace treaty between Israel and an Arab nation. That's actually freaking huge, especially with what's going on right now.
My name is Jimmy Carter. I'm still alive, you guys.
Department of Energy. He created the Department of Energy, I didn't know that, to address the 1970s energy crisis and emphasized the importance of renewable energy and energy conservation. Number 3, human rights advocacy. Carter prioritized human rights in U.S. Foreign policy, often criticizing oppressive regimes and promoting democracy and freedom worldwide. 4, Panama Canal treaties. So he negotiated treaties that transferred control of the Panama Canal from U.S. to Panama by the year 2000, improving relations with Latin America. And then the environmental policies. Carter signed several environmental protection laws, including the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act, which preserved over 100 million acres of Alaskan wilderness. Wow. Good for him, man.
Looks like he did a lot.
Yeah. You know, he seems like a good guy, man. In 2002, he actually received a Nobel Peace Prize for his decades of humanitarian work, conflict mediation, and promotion of human rights, because he continued to do, like, it looks like he was an active volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, helping build homes for low-income families around the world. What a guy, Jimmy Carter.
I know, right? President Carter.
I want to, dude, that would, like, what? I want a guy like that.
Yeah.
I want a guy like that.
You know, what they're calling the Panama Canal, you know what they're calling it now? Because of all the Trump stuff with the tariffs.
Calling the Panama Canal?
Yeah, it's a joke that I created with my manager.
What?
It's called an American Canal.
Why?
Well, that's kind of the running joke because of all the tariffs that he's doing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with China, and all that stuff. It's like, if it's not American, then it just got to get a tariff.
I agree.
I work at a restaurant, so what's great is that we got all these different sauces, and we have to change the name of them.
For real?
Instead of teriyaki, it's American teriyaki.
Shut the fuck. You're a fucking liar.
Instead of Thai curry, it's American Thai curry.
It's American curry.
There you go. Thank you. It's American
Thai. Fuck the Thai.
Yeah, there's no Thai.
What's
So instead of Golden Fire, which is an Asian sauce, it's just American Fire.
At Buffalo Wild Wings, no more Asian zing. It's American zing only.
Now you're getting the J-Rod.
American zingers.
American Zing.
Dude, I like that.
Yeah, so it's elite.
I like
I'm telling you.
this.
Now, obviously, another one of our sauces is the most American that it gets. Nashville hot. Nashville. I mean, come on.
Ooh.
That's undisputedly American. You know?
That's the best.
Listen, if that's not American, I don't know.
I don't even know if I've had it, but listen, I love it.
To prevent confusion, we have American barbecue.
We have American barbecue.
American barbecue.
Yeah, no, we don't have no Chinese.
No.
We don't have no pigs on a fucking spit.
Nope. American barbecue.
And before we go, we should address real quick the wildfires.
Yeah.
Wildfires in Cali going crazy right now. I mean, crazy. I'm just gonna show you guys real quick a little video of kind of like what we're looking at in terms of how bad it really is. I mean, there we go, right there. That was, did you guys see it? Yeah, right there. This is terrifying, guys. Honestly, we need to figure this out.
Zoom in.
Holy shit, bro. Look at that.
Yeah, his hair is... Yeah, he's got some...
I'm kidding.
In the middle of the night, just to leave the food there.
Just putting all their valuables in it.
I don't like that woman.
You see, business is on fire. I wouldn't know since you were still saying or never seen fire so more.
Yes. Well, obviously,
American curry.
what we're looking at, guys, what we just looked at was basically just the end of the world.
Basically.
This is the rapture, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty serious.
So
You know what's
be
crazy
ready.
is that, there's a lot of conspiracies around these wildfires because they happen so patternized when you think about it. You probably get a wildfire every like 3 or 4 years. Probably the same time you get a
I feel like every year.
I wouldn't say every year, but at least every 2 or 3 years for sure. The Panama Canal, the American Canal.
Should I say California?
Yeah, let's do California. Damn,
7,000 to 10,000 per year.
that's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
It's a drought.
Drought, climate change, human activity, natural causes.
That's crazy.
That is wild. But I know where you were going, and you were going with what is it, cloud seeding? Or
Yeah, they got a bunch of different. They argue that there's some guy or some organization, not a guy.
Bill Gates. Bill Gates.
Really?
Yeah, he has a he patented that
Crap.
he patented what is it called? I'm pretty sure it's called cloud seeding, but you can do things, I guess, that sway the way the weather works.
Yeah.
And I don't know how like intense you can do it too. Like I'm not sure if they can like form these hurricanes or if they're just kind of like, like using it more so to like maybe sway away hurricanes from us.
Yeah.
Or if they're using it to like actually sway it towards us.
It's definitely possible.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's tricky. With the hurricane machine, they actually say that the sort of weather machines and stuff like that, they actually tested it back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
and essentially
weather modification.
Yeah, weather modification. So essentially what they did was when they did the test, they used like these really big airplanes, and they would like drop these things that would literally cause hurricanes. They would either drop these things that would propel the water to spin us in a certain direction, which would essentially cause hurricanes. So a lot of people don't know about that, but it's
But
really,
doesn't a hurricane form when it's like a mix of like really hot and cold weather, and then like because that forms crazy winds, which then forms the tides to
I'm not sure about
I feel like all you could do is just fucking drop a fucking nuke.
Ooh, not a nuke.
Or I'm gonna re-say that because I said that word way too much. I'm sure all you could do is just drop a thing and
A fucking drop a fucking.
I literally just I said a sentence there. I said I'm pretty sure all you can fucking do is just fucking
Right, and then you gotta fucking.
That was the most stupid sentence I've ever said.
No, you were speaking real language. That's fucking ease.
I have said stupider things before.
That's great. So yeah, the wildfires are serious. Shout out to all the people that are going through that. That's terrible. 7,000 to 10,000 wildfires a year is horrible. No, I just don't fully believe in the origin of these fires. Obviously they have all these reasons like drought.
You don't think any of them? You don't think?
I think it's very possible.
Because there's 7,000, 10,000. There's got to be some like.
I think the issue that I have is that they kind of miss certain areas. Meanwhile, other areas are getting burned completely down to a crisp. So it's like you can't do that. Like you can't have one area that's like completely toasted, and like this other area is almost practically unscathed.
I know that like the wealthier neighborhoods, they have their own private firefighters.
Oh, shoot, damn.
Yeah.
I need to join them then. I need to be somebody's private firefighter.
But apparently, for like I think Beverly Hills, like it's so nice. Like the fire, because it's at the very top of it, so your station just overlooks all of like the ocean. Imagine
that's
you literally like live in the fire station. You cook meals and shit.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been interested in. I'm like, I wonder what it would take to be a firefighter.
My buddy's a Detroit firefighter.
Now, being a firefighter in California, I think is actually pretty dangerous.
Hey, dude, it's really bad. It's like, except for now because of wildfires, but for building, Detroit is number one.
Yeah, because all the electrical issues.
Yeah.
The electrical issues are serious because, a lot of these houses were built in the 20s and 30s.
Right.
So, like the electrical, especially if it's a family-owned building and nobody's checked the circuits in like 50 to 60 years, that's a huge problem. That's a huge liability.
I could see
and
that.
I don't think the city of Detroit is going to be interested in changing or in like hiring somebody to change out those circuits unless the owners or the residents say something requiring them to do it. Or if they want to move, then I think Detroit might come and check on, all those capabilities. But I think that's a portion of the fires in Detroit on top.
That makes sense.
On top of the pyromaniacs.
I was thinking about that as well.
Molotov.
Pyromaniac. What a weird
They
thing.
get super horny when they set things on fire.
Isn't that weird?
It's psychological.
There's this one guy that represented this one kid that used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And he would dress up as like a firefighter and direct traffic after he was the one that set the fire. And his dad was like a really rich guy.
That's crazy.
And so he had this lawyer or whatever, but after like the fourth time, I'm pretty sure the kid got like a really long time in prison. It should.
Yeah, I mean, this is so crazy.
You can't just be going like, shit.
I mean, that's how people get down. Don't light my shit on fire.
Dude, I mean, dude, it's a weird thing about it. You see a fire, for all you know, there could be a pyromaniac in a car that's parked just jerking off.
Oh my god, it's totally like some Charles Manson shit or something. Like it's the same thing. I think as getting like a kill. Kind of getting rid of people. Or my bad, unaliving them. That's a new word now.
What is it? Why did people say that?
Censorship, cancellation. You're canceled, J-Rod.
Unalive.
It's over for you. The moment I said octopussy, that's when I knew. I was like, yep, it's over for J-Rod.
Dude, you gotta watch some of my episodes.
Oh my god.
You don't even know.
We'll find out.
If I was gonna be canceled, I'm canceled, bro.
All right. I mean, I get it. You're still building, so they can't cancel you yet.
No,
They got to
can't
cancel you when you're in your high.
Nobody gives a fuck enough to cancel me.
Right. I mean, no, just stay with.
Which is great. Which is great because that would suck if people did give a fuck and they canceled me.
And those feminists,
Yeah. Yes.
social justice warriors.
Oh yeah. Fuck them, bro.
Yeah, they're anal. Quite literally too. I think they enjoy anal.
Yeah.
And female, male and female,
I'm probably walking around with butt plugs and shit.
or just butt ass naked walking around the house,
Yeah, with a big old butt plug.
bending over at every corner in the house. Oh my god, it's time again.
Bent over, pop wine cork. This is gross. All right, guys. This has been Jared Pod. Eddie, thank you so much for coming on. We've talked about some crazy, interesting stuff today.
This is amazing. I do enjoy.
Thank you for coming on, seriously.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I
bro.
appreciate it.
My man.
This is a great opportunity. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, PL_Eddie.
Oh yeah, we'll put all your info in the description.
But shout out to the Blue Yeti gang.
Shout out Blue Eddie Gang.
Forget about me.
And Roy's Investments. But other than that, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Peace.